We'll start first.
Commissioner Brissink,
Present.
Commissioner Bowie,
Here.
Commissioner Eldridge, Commissioner Ellis,
Here.
Commissioner Martinez, Commissioner Linda Smith, Commissioner Fletcher, Commissioner Dustin Smith, Commissioner Nassar, Commissioner Firstel,
I'm here.
Attorney Carpenter, Director Peck, Director Wright.
Chair Bowie, I thought I saw Commissioner Dustin announced present, but I cannot see or hear the commissioner.
Thank you, Counselor. And I do have a note here.
President Smith. In order for Commissioner Smith to, there we go.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
There he is.
Here.
All right, very good. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Eldridge,
Here.
There's Lauren. Hey, Lauren. Let's see, Angela, by my count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have Commissioners Brissink, Bowie, Eldridge, Ellis, Firstel, and Smith present. If that's the case, then according to our count, that is 6. We have 11 commissioners. So, Counselor, I think we do have enough to have an official meeting. Okay, very good. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Much appreciate your time. Let's quickly, you should have received the meeting minutes from last month via email. Are there any questions or comments about the meeting minutes from last month from any of the commissioners?
I move for approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes by Commissioner Firstel. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, I believe that was from Commissioner Smith. Is that right? Or who was that? Was that Commissioner Brissink?
Present.
Okay, Commissioner Brissink, thank you very much. Any further questions? All those in favor of approving the previous month's meeting minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? None opposed? All right, very good. Meeting minutes approved from last month. Thank you, everybody, for that. All right, moving into citizen communication. I do believe we have a couple here for communication. So if you'd like to step to the podium and address your name or have any questions. No? Nobody? No citizen communication? Yes, sir.
My name is John McCarty, and I spoke at the last meeting last month. And I guess I just need to ask a question of the commission members. And that is that currently the city of Little Rock operates under what is now the 2020 Master Park Plan. And my question to the commission is, and feel free to ask, maybe some of you weren't members when it was done a couple of years ago, but I was just curious if any of you commissioners had any input on what is now the 2020 Master Park Plan.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Anybody on the commission who wishes to respond to Mr. McCarty, please do so.
I'd be happy to. Obviously, I'm new. As we just discussed earlier before the meeting, I did not, to answer your question. Thank you.
So I guess my point is that the city is operating under a Master Park Plan that none of the commission members either voted for or had any input. Is that correct?
Well, I don't know that that's necessarily correct or incorrect, but Director Couch, I'll let you take that one.
I
I would just like to say that, so the master park plans are a 10-year plus document. So it's not something that the park commission group, who revolves on a 1 to 2 year basis, is always going to have involvement in the generation of the master plan. A master plan that is 2020 was started back in 18, so I can't historically state, right now which ones of the commissioners were on the board and are on the commission and had input at that time, but it was a publicly, processed document. But I'd be happy to share that information in terms of if there were any commissioners at that time to you. I can send you an email.
Well, you can understand why I'm asking the question. We have a Little Rock Park and Recreation Commission, and I guess their role, I need to ask, is that role have any input on the direction that the Parks and Recreation in the city of Little Rock is going, or plans for?
Yes, absolutely. So the Park Commission does. The master plan is simply that. It's a plan for the future of the department. The board of directors are the ones that ultimately make those bigger decisions. This is a board that recommends improvements to the Parks Department. So they'll utilize the master plan as a document for referencing, but at the same time, I guess they could make different changes or whatever throughout the years. There could be an update to the master plan, maybe. All of those things are not out of question, but there's no plans for any of that.
Well, that I understand, but I think the big important component that's left out of this has been the golf. Because if you looked at the study that was done, from what I can see, golf was not even an option that was, that could be promoted. It was other activities other than golf. And, we're operating at less than 2 golf courses down in the city. And, the plans for, as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, for golf in the city of Little Rock is to add 9 holes to first tee and build a new clubhouse at Present. Am I correct?
Yes, according to the master plan, you're correct, as the goals that were written back then. But again, I believe every commissioner that's on the board today or on the commission were involved directly with that. And so, I can't answer that question.
I think it's an important component that we're operating less than 2 golf courses. And I would hope somebody would, at least like myself, ask the same question. Why is the golf being explored? And if that's the only 2 options that we got, is to add 9 holes to first tee and build a new clubhouse at Redmond. That's not acceptable in my book. So thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCarty. Appreciate your communication. All right, moving on to the next item on the agenda is staff reports. So, Director House, will turn this over to you for staff reports. Shall we start with administration?
Yes, so just a little bit of an update we did for staff reports. Recreation did provide a written document update, and Angela's here for administration, and all staff, please try to keep it to a short time period so we can continue through, and again, I'll cover operations.
And for resources, we're very busy as usual. At the moment, our budget is our main focus. We're thinking of ways to conserve what we have remaining and also focus on our needs for 2023. Administration is finalizing candidates for our senior parks planner for our design division, parks construction worker for our operations division. In the near future, we'll be interviewing for a deputy director of operations position and a administrative assistant 1 for our administrative division. I would like to take time to share that Little Rock was the host city for our Arkansas Recreation and Parks Association this year conference. I believe it was last week we attended. We had a great turnout of participants. Our department entered 7 categories, 4 awards, and was successfully brought home 5 awards. I will go ahead and list those. Champion of the Year, titled Serving from the Heart, that awarded to Robert Williams, which was centered around volunteerism. Number 2 was Therapeutic Recreation Program of the Year, which was Therapeutic Recreation Summer Day Camp. Number 3 was Festival of the Year, awarded for 11 plus years, which was Little Rock Marathon. Number 4 was Indoor Facility of the Year, $1 million to $5 million, which was awarded to West Central Community Center. Number 5 was Natural State of the Trail of the Year, which was River Mountain. And I also want to thank everybody that pitched in and had time to write, the summaries for those. And just want to thank everybody for that, for pitching in. Also, our executive staff will be traveling to our annual National Recreation and Park Association Conference, which will be held in Phoenix, Arizona. I believe we will be leaving next week. Great time to learn, network, and get some more ideas for our department. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Nelson.
Thank you, Shawanda.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'll try to be as brief as possible. I did ask Angela to send you guys a copy of this report, and there's one provided on the table. So I'll talk about the Breslin Tennis Center first. We have a ATA 55 and older sectional tournament this weekend, the 16th and the 17th. So if you're not too busy, please go out and check out the great tennis that will be at the Breslin Tennis Facility. West Central Community Center will have an open house tonight, starting at 6, from 6 to 7:30. So if you're not busy, if you have not been by that location, please do so. They'll have light refreshments and different things going on throughout the night there. Also, they have a boxing event coming up on September the 28th through October 1st at the West Central Community Center. We have the West Central Clinic, Health Clinic, we will have a grand opening on September the 29th at 3 o'clock. And I'll send out an email on that so that you guys can participate if you would like to join in with us on September 29th. The Southwest Community Center, the pool has closed, and we'll have an open house at that location on Thursday, September the 15th from 6 to 7:30. The Breslin Golf Course will have the Paul and Mary Lewis Golf Tournament on Friday, September the 16th. This is an annual tournament. It's been around for about 25 years, and it'll be a 2-person scramble, men, women, and seniors. So if you're not too busy, check out that tournament if you're a golfer, or just to explore the event. And the First Tee will have its open house on September the 28th. And they'll showcase their facility and have different games and refreshments on September the 28th available for that. The Therapeutic Recreation Division would do East End ICANN Arts and Resource Center volunteer cleanup on September the 22nd. And they will also start their volunteer services that they do with the Little Rock Zoo monthly, and that will start on September the 27th. Also, the adult annual camping trip will be held on September the 28th through the 30th at Camp Aldersgate. And they will also do a weekend warriors program starting on September the 23rd. The MacArthur Museum will have a songwriting retreat for veterans and families hosted by the Freedom Fund USA, a 2-day music workshop, presentation, and live performance at the MacArthur Park on August the 25th and the 26th. Come out and join us. Their open house also will be September the 26th. So please come out and join in with the Recreation Division. Thank you.
Thanks, Ms. Williamson.
as it's time for operations, our current projects are continuing, but I wanted to share some exciting news, and this is a good time for me to be able to do that. And what that is for operations as well, but that's for the money that has been recently been passed for improvements for the Little Rock Parks and Recreation Department. Starting off with the vote for the bond was successful, so Little Rock Parks will receive over $24 million in bond improvement money. We're currently going out to the public and having public meetings. I have a list of those meetings here in front of me. I can share those dates, but if anybody wants to participate in those meetings, I invite everybody out to come and share input, and that's what the meetings are for right now, are input on those funds. Secondly, the board also passed last week utilizing some ARPA funds, some American Rescue Act funds, some money for over $2 million for community center improvements, which is huge and great. I'd love to hear from the commission some ideas and improvements for those community centers, as well as another $3 million for seniors. This is a senior center, which isn't actually located at this time and or an addition or any actual plans, but I was hoping one of the city directors would be here today to carry that kind of conversation on. But anyway, again, $3 million for seniors. And then on additional to all that is another $1 million for the West Central Ball Complex. So new improvements to the ball complex, which we're currently working on figuring out what those renovations would look like. So really exciting times. This is the first time, I think, besides the sales tax over 10 years ago. I mean, there's obviously been other bond improvement processes, but this is just really some really great money in terms of for us to be able to make some improvements. And speaking of city director, welcome Director Wright, just with talking about all the money that you've been helpful in getting us for our department. So if there's any questions for operations, any of the projects that are ongoing that I've spoken about several times, I'll be happy to provide an update. But other than that, I'll use that time for my operations update and move on to JP to give a short update on where we stand on our maintenance efforts. Thank you.
We're mowing grass and praying for first frost. So, and everything's moving along. We're trying to, running to keep up. Hopefully, you're starting to see improvements on the parks between our crews and the contractors, and working on trying to get our budget request together for us to keep rebuilding our crews. Anybody's got any questions?
All right, thank you.
Are there any questions from the commissioners for any of our staff here for the reports that you've heard? Questions from the commissioners? Online, I'm seeing heads shaking, so I guess that's a no. All right, very good. Thank you, everyone, for those reports. Thank you, Dr. Couch. Next item on the agenda, old business. I think we're just kind of going back over, last month we did hear from the subcommittees. We also heard from Eric Bowden from the first tee, and then we also talked a bit about the Friends of the Park program. Those were all things that we covered last week. I don't believe that there was any further business to talk about those. Well, we'll have some business to talk about those in the new business here in just a second. Perhaps that's where we'll slot that in. So why don't we do that? Down under new business, do want to acknowledge new Commissioner JT Firstall, who's here today, live and in person with us. JT, I know we met you last month virtually. We had some technical difficulties. Give us a little information about yourself and your interest in parks.
Sure, happy to. So JT Firstall, have a real estate valuation and consulting business here in Little Rock. Born and raised here, Catholic High graduate. Other than my stint up in Fayetteville for college, came back here for law school, and I've been here ever since, and have had numerous opportunities to serve the city and the community, and I look forward to continuing that here with parks. In terms of why this is passionate for me is I believe in youth sports. I think that is a big thing that we are missing here in Little Rock in terms of facilities, and I'm just very passionate about that. I mean, there's been tons of studies done. I mean, kids that play organized youth sports read more, their brains function at a higher level, and they're less likely to get in trouble. And for me, that's what drives me. So anything I can do on that front is certainly what I'm going to do. So thank you for that opportunity to speak.
You bet, Commissioner Firstall. Thank you for being here. Welcome aboard.
What was his name again? Okay. I want to work with you. You said my heart beats sports. And
Oh, good.
Kids out of
That's
trouble.
right. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, I got something for you.
All right.
All right, very good. So now we're going to get into subcommittee reports, and I think the two of the chairs of our subcommittees are not here today for social media and master plan. Did they provide anything, Leland, for you to mention? No? Okay. All right. Very good. And just for the record, the commission does have a standing 3 subcommittees for 2 of them are listed here on our agenda. We need to get the third one added there: social media outreach, master plan, and also Parks Conservancy liaison. So without any report from social media or master plan this week, I do want to turn to the chair of the Parks Conservancy subcommittee. That's Commissioner Brasink, and I think Commissioner Brasink's got an update for us.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bowie. I know on the outreach social media front, there was a lot of energy put into coming up with a membership drive plan, and that's certainly something that is needed. And so the intent would be that would be something that falls under the Conservancy and not so much under the Commission. So we want to continue those efforts and continue to build on that plan, but doing that more so under the purview of the Conservancy. In the past, prior to really me getting on the Commission, the Conservancy was doing those activities. They had a Facebook page, they had all that good stuff. So hopefully we can get back to a point of having that and working, together with the outreach committee. So that's kind of where we are right now, is working towards that plan under the Conservancy. That will take time to build out and get some traction, but we're at a good starting spot. So we'll have more updates as that progresses, but happy to field any questions if there are any.
Thank you, Commissioner Brasink. Any questions for Commissioner Brasink? All right, very good. So next we're going to move to the presentation portion, and so Director Couch, I'll turn to you to introduce our speaker today.
So just going along with our special presentations, this is just another staff presentation to inform the Commission on what we do in Little Rock Parks and what great employees and staff we have for the department. So I'd like to welcome Jordan Mays, our trail coordinator, who is a recent hire for our department. He has a big area to maintain and look after, which is all of our trails in the department, and was particularly hired to help maintain our River Mountain professional trail system, mountain biking trails and all that, but oversees all the trails. So Jordan, if you could say a few words about what you do. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Hello everyone, my name is Jordan Mays, and I'm the pleasure of serving as Trails Coordinator for the city's Parks and Recreation Department. So I'm honored to attend this meeting and thanks for the opportunity to share information about our trails here in the city. So for the next few minutes, I will mention our trail projects and current inventory of trails. So for projects, for this first season, I've been with the city 7 months now, and for the first season, we're gauging the maintenance needs of our trail systems, and we're going to create a appropriate action plan next season to manage our trails better. So, yeah, and then the second project we have is River Mountain Park. So we're currently constructing a trail hub or a landing pad at the bottom of our gravity trails for our mountain biking. And this new improvement will be much safer and user-friendly for users and pedestrians alike. So we're excited about that. And so the next project we have is coming up after the first of the year. We have Boyle Park Mountain Bike, multi-use mountain bike trails. I'm excited to announce that we're working in conjunction with a local contractor to build those trails, and I'm excited to get those on the ground. And then the last project we have that I'll mention is our data collection phase. So this is an ongoing project in which will help us develop a maintenance plan for maintaining our trails, updating maps that we provide to the public on our website platform, pinpointing areas for maintenance staff so we can relay that information quickly and efficiently, and then finally the trail inventory for our department. It's good to have something on paper there. And so that leads me to inventory. So all these measurements are GIS measured, and I try to do everything I can to ensure accuracy on them. So we've been busy compiling all the trails we manage within the city limits. So far we've collected spatial data for 24 parks with 16.29 miles of paved trail system, 15.16 miles of natural surface trails, also 9.86 miles of paved trail is not within the park system that we've collected. And then next we have a 4.5 water trail that extends from Beanie Crag to Interstate Park that we've got on our GS map. And last but certainly not least, my favorite trail system in the network and the recipient of the LRPR Natural Surface Trail of the Year, we have 8.45 miles of mountain biking multi-use trails at River Mountain Park. And then so in total that is 54.26 miles collectively, and we still have some work to do. I'm happy to announce that this project is almost complete with just a few areas to collect that from. Riverfront, which I'm working on right now, MacArthur, Western Hills, and Hyman. And so I'm hopeful to be finished by the end of the fall season. Thank you for this incredible opportunity to work in the city of Mountain Park. I'll now devote time to open the floor for any questions that anybody has. Thank you all.
Any questions from the commissioners for Mr. Mays? Questions, comments?
Thank you, Jordan, for your time. If the commission will allow, I also have another special guest today, which is Michael Garrity from our marathon. He just had a quick press announcement, press conference yesterday. I would love for him just to give us a few updates on the Little Rock Marathon, just briefly.
Thank you. The Little Rock Marathon, we're entering our 21st year. We always take place on the first weekend in March. So March 4th and 5th this year is race weekend. Generally, we expect between 10 and 15,000 participants, and probably a total of in excess of 20 to 25,000 people total with their family and friends that come in. We have people from all 50 states and up to 14 different countries come and participate. One of the things that our race is most known for is our medal, and we unveiled those yesterday, and they're all over social media. We were on TV yesterday, and unfortunately so was I. You don't want to see me, you want to see the medals. So they're out there on our social media pages, so you can see those. Our registration is open. We have a free training program that goes year round. So if you're wanting to participate in one of our races or any other kind of running you want to do, you sign up with our free training program, and we've got 2 volunteer training coaches that have been with us from day one, and they plan out a training schedule for you for whatever distance you want to run, and do that all for nothing. You've got to sign up at littlerockmarathon.com. We have a kids race each year, and what they do is the children run their first 25 miles starting when school starts. It's generally a school-based program, or it could be a church group or any other kind of group that gets those kids out and moving. They run their first 25 miles leading up to race weekend, and then they get to run their final mile actually down on the race course, and they get to go through the big finish line just like everybody else. So it's a great program that we have, and it's programs all over the state. It's not just locally here. So this year we're expecting 1,800 kids, kind of getting back closer to pre-COVID numbers on the kids race. Our participants in the other races, our numbers, we're still not quite back to pre-COVID numbers, but we're moving up slowly. Not trying to be too aggressive because of supply chain issues, ordering medals and that kind of thing. We have to order the medals, have them all designed and ordered by May, so they're already out for order, in order to get them in time for the race in March. So the number of medals we have determines how many people we can allow in the race. So that's how we kind of look at setting our capacities for our races. We have a number of other races and events throughout the year. So on October 22nd, we have the Creep and Crawl. It's a half marathon and a 5K that takes place out at Two Rivers Park. And it's all along Jordan's trail system. So we appreciate Jordan a lot, and JP, and all of the Parks Department. And then in December 17th, we'll have a 5K race. We call it the Ugly Sweater Race. You're encouraged to wear ugly sweaters. In the Creep and Crawl, you're encouraged to wear Halloween costumes. We have a robust social media presence for all of our events and races. We do a lot of crazy videos and things that kind of are niche. So we're the fun and games part of the Parks and Recreation Department, along with everything that Shawanda's group does. And we truly can't do it without the rest of the department. On race week, it takes us a week to set up for marathon weekend. The recreation department's involved, maintenance is heavily involved, administration is involved. So it's a true department-wide event that we couldn't do without everybody else. So, anything else you wanted to hear about?
No, that was perfect. Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Garrity. Any commissioners have any questions for Mr. Garrity on the marathon and all the other activities that are going along with that? Anybody online? Okay. All right, very good. Then, Mr. May. Oh, hang on 1 second. I see Lauren raising her hand there. Lauren, I don't think I was hearing you. Try again.
I do have a question for Mike. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, is the route going to be the same?
Yes. We are not planning, changing the course for the marathon is a long and exhaustive process that requires a lot of steps. So if we don't have to change the course, we're not going to. We changed it before the race in 2021 because of the I-30 construction project on the bridge. And right now, there's no plans to change it until all of that construction is done, because we used to run over and under I-30 like 3 or 4 different times over the weekend with all of our races. We made the decision to make one big change when that construction project started, and we don't go east of I-30 at all at this point. When all of that construction is done, we're looking at moving back, where we go back east of it out towards the airport. The exact course we haven't fully figured out yet, but the plan is to change it after that whole project is done.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Any other commission questions? Anybody else online? All right, very good. Again, thank you, Mr. Mays, and thank you, Mr. Geary, for your reports. Much appreciate you guys being here and providing that information for us. Next item on the agenda is to discuss any additional agenda items for the next meeting. I would like to see under the subcommittee reports for next month, let's do that a line item for the Parks Conservancy. We want to make sure that we're giving Commissioner Brasink ample time to talk about things there again next month. Are there any other agenda items that we need to add for next month, for the next meeting in October? I do think we probably want to add the social that will be occurring. Maybe we could just have a bullet point somewhere on the agenda as a reminder, just to kind of talk about that. The social that is going to be held on Friday, the 21st of October at Hill Station. So commissioners, if you haven't already put that on your calendar, please do. We want to see all the commissioners there for that activity. Any other agenda items?
I would like to add a couple.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So due to the new funding that I mentioned today, I would like to have a kind of an ongoing status update on projects for the ARPA funding and the bond funding to get not only just updating on where the staff is on the projects and direction, but also to gather input from this commission.
Very good. Thank you very much. All right, then let's move on to the next item on the agenda, which is board liaison feedback. So, Director Wright, anything from you today?
Ooh, I got a lot.
Got a lot. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I missed the first part. I was getting my oil changed and had therapy this morning, so I've been running all morning, so I'm kind of frazzled. But I want to invite the commission to come out to the ribbon cutting on the 29th. That's a Thursday at 2:30 at the West Central Community Center. We're going to be cutting the ribbon for the health clinic. And the Healthy Connections Community Health Network wants to turn it into a fall fest, Shawanda, so we need some vendors. If you could rustle us up maybe 2 or 3, just to set up a table, pass, whatever they do. Anyway, they've got an event planner that's taking care of the details on everything else. And Leland, if you could get that ice cream truck.
We've discussed that.
Okay. And I was trying to get that arcade, the mobile arcade thing.
You want the laser tag?
No, not if you got gun with it. I want something. We got too much shooting going on right now. I don't need to send no messages. Yeah. And I think I'm going to give you Jackie's number. So I'm going to give you Jackie's number so y'all can work together. She's the event planner that they hired. Okay? But the 29th, I really do want you all to come out. I want, some of you may not have ever been to the community center. It is now an award-winning community center. I don't know if Leland mentioned it to you all, but we won a recent award at the Arkansas Parks and Recreation. Okay. Yes, and y'all need to see the ball fields because that $1 million that I got allocated specifically for that, I think that we can leverage that by getting the business community involved. Because now we got something to build from. Because $1 million is not going to do it, we know. But Leland has a plan. September 30th, we are hosting a reception for a boxing club that's coming all the way from the country of Ireland. They will be boxing at the West Central Community Center gym on that Saturday, starting at 7 o'clock. But that Friday night at 7, Trios will be hosting a reception for them. Please come. Please come. Miss Person.
I'll try.
Okay. Please come. I want you all to meet them. I want you to just shake hands with them. We're putting together a nice little presentation for them and just welcome them to Little Rock. They're actually staying in Memphis. Their stay was sponsored over there, but Memphis, for some reason, everything fell through on the matches, so they wanted to come to Little Rock. And so this has been in the works for several months. I know at least 6 months. So we want to make a good showing. We always have an excellent turnout at every boxing event. They love us so much. We already know that we've got the Golden Gloves, state Golden Gloves, again for March 2023. So please come. That's my fourth please. All mine begging now, especially when it's for kids. It's not for me. Okay. I do want to let you all know we had a outstanding. I've been popping my collar ever since Comic-Con for Literacy event. That was the first Comic-Con, to my knowledge, ever at a community center in Little Rock. We had a fabulous turnout. We had actors dressed up as Wonder Woman, Thor, Spider-Man, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Suicide Squad woman, all that. And the kids came dressed in their costumes, and they got an award for best costume. Central Arkansas Library System was one of the sponsors. They brought in 300 books, and by the end of the program, all of their books were gone. We had a panel discussion with a local comic book author and graphic artist, and the gentleman that coordinates the Comic-Con at the State House every year, which is coming up. He came and he was a part of the panel discussion. So we want to make this an annual event. It's to encourage reading. I love comic books, and kids love comic books. And all these movies are blockbuster movies selling billions. So why not make it something that we could use to get the kids involved and engaged? So as a result of that event, CALS has now said that they will stock our little free library, Leland Shawanda, so we don't have to do that anymore. They will give us free books.
Okay.
They were so impressed with what we did. Also, we had the Memphis Grizzlies in, the NBA team, on the 27th. They did a clinic for the basketball, and the Arkansas Travelers did a clinic for the baseball. Mr. Firstall, I would love to work with you on partnership. Memphis Grizzlies won a partnership, and we had already worked out a partnership with Arkansas Travelers, but it got derailed due to COVID. And what we want to do, they had agreed to sponsor the 21st century kids that wanted to play baseball. They had agreed to sponsor their uniforms. They would play under the Arkansas Travelers name. We're still working out the details on the Memphis Grizzlies sponsorship. But
If I can meet John Morant, I'm in.
I got a feeling you probably can, because they want to expand their brand to Arkansas. We're a neighboring state, 2 hours away, and they seem to be totally impressed with our facilities. They love the ample parking, the brightness of the facility, the openness of it. All of it's very, very welcoming. And then when you walk into the gym, you see all the fat heads on the wall that inspire the kids. And the first one you see when you look straight ahead is the Memphis Grizzlies. So don't ask me who he is, because I don't know nothing about sports. But they were very impressed. His name is Corey Elliott, and he's their youth sports program, something. Anyway, I do a lot of stuff that I don't fully understand. I just do it because that's what it needs to be done. But they want us to play under their umbrella. They want to put our banners and stuff up. They want this to be a Memphis Grizzlies outreach program, and I think it's fabulous. I think it'll bring a lot of dimension to what we offer. It would be something that would be like an ambassador program where we could use that as a recruiting tool to get the kids in and off the street. That's all I want. I don't care. I'll stay a few minutes and take some pictures, but I don't have to watch a game because I don't understand it all. They move too fast. I can't tell, because we look like all of them fouling each other to me. But I don't know when the ref, or whatever you call them, is calling a foul. Because to me, like I said, it look like they always hitting each other. But kids like it. They like it, they love it, and this is something I think we don't need to miss this opportunity. We can start with this as a pilot and explore and then assess at the end of the season and do the same thing with baseball.
I think that's an awesome idea.
Thank you.
Because I've said for years to, friends, family, colleagues, the Memphis, we got a killer NBA team an hour and 45 minutes away, and it just feels like very few people utilize that.
Yeah. Well, they're
So
talking about
we need to
for families,
get
giveaways.
Little Rock on board with that team.
Yeah,
For sure.
well, Leland is on board, he said he will.
I emailed you last night.
Okay, you said you were, okay. I wouldn't have said it if I hadn't seen
I
it.
don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, no, I've been running.
I'm still waiting for the scope, the final scoping program.
Yeah, well, I want to tie it, and Mr. Bristol, this is maybe something else that interests you. I want to link it to a Simmons Bank Foundation grant.
Sure.
And they approached me, okay? They want to do a CRA project, they want to do a financial literacy project. And I told them a financial literacy project would need to have an incentivizer. I suggested college savings accounts to get the parents to sign the kids up. We want to start with the 21st Century program because we already got that. And we are in our 5th year, but we anticipate being refunded for another 5 years. We would tie that with our family engagement piece that's required by the state grant. We have to do family engagement. We have to get the parents involved. This is the way to incentivize that. And then there is a CRA component.
Yep.
You know what that is?
Mm.
Y'all, for y'all that don't, it's Community Reinvestment Act. All financial institutions have to have a certain compliance with that. And what we're doing in my ward is we've already got 14 lots that we're going to build single-family homes on, and this housing department is closing on 16 more lots, so there'll be 31 new construction homes. And their CRA funds that I requested $500,000. That those dollars can be used to help buy down the loan for the buyer, and that along with the down payment and closing cost assistance from the city would make that home, which is probably going to cost $175 to $200, bring it down to $150 or less. So 31 new construction homes, down payment and closing cost assistance, and financed by Simmons. So, and also I asked for a rehab program for owner-occupied housing, where the homeowner it wouldn't matter about your credit because the house would be used as collateral, and they would could qualify for up to $10,000 to replace their roof or replace the plumbing, and if it's a person 62 years or older, they could get the additional funds if it needed more extensive work from the city's homeowner rehab program, which is only for people 62 years old and older. Now, I said all that to bring you back around to Leland's concept of linking these houses to our trail system, or to the center, to the community center. Okay, Malloy Street is where the 16 lots is. Malloy and, what is that street? Right across our barbershop. When under our, where our entryway is, there's a street, there's that nice barbershop right there. Whatever that street is, that would be a direct path for those kids to get from Malloy Street, because that's where the lots are. 46 in Malloy, I think that's 46. Anyway, they'd be right down the street from Kiwanis Park, fishing, all that, and then they'd be right down the street from our community center, West Central. And when you come, you'll notice if you come down Barrow that there's a traffic signal there where you can push the button to stop the traffic on Barrow Road, so you can walk across there. And then the other lots are over around Zion Street or Walker Street near Union Park. That's a little bit further away, but it will get you to our center. But we want to link all of this to what we're offering with the sports, so that the poor kids I'm trying to reach, they have access. And we do have a transportation program with Rock Region Metro called Metro Connect that provides one way to anywhere in that transportation zone for $1.35. So we have that as well. So we want to put together a package specifically for West Central for the sports programs. So parents know we've got the transportation, we've got the programming, we've got the education, we've got the recreation, and also mother and father, we have a fitness center, we have a radio station, We have all of these things for you because we have a trainer there, we have our health clinic there, primary care, behavioral health. If you're having problems with in your family, the behavioral counselor will be on staff at the health clinic. You all will meet her if you come to the ribbon cutting. So I'm talking about a holistic approach.
Yeah.
Everything centered around the West Central Community Center, because it's my firm belief that a community center needs to serve the community where it's located. There needs to be an assessment of what's going on in that community and provide that outreach to that community in a place where they all feel comfortable coming. Hope all that makes sense. And you can see how I thought about it.
Thank you very much, Director Wright. You
A lot.
were kidding. You did say a lot.
Yeah. So all of that, but I did want you all to know as a commission that I want you to engage. I was so happy when he said he was into sports and youth and all of that, because I do need some help here. I do have a good relationship with the business community, and they've told me that they will support helping fundraise for those ball fields. We want to name that one of those fields after Dixon Blake and get his family involved. We hadn't forgotten any of that stuff. So that's my report. Director Peck said she couldn't be here. She had a flat and she had to go get that tire change. So I told her I had enough to hold it down.
Indeed, very good. Thank you much, Director Wright. Much appreciated. All right, everyone, we've got just a couple of minutes left here. So the next month's meeting is on Wednesday, October the 12th, right here at the Center, University Park at 12 o'clock, noon sharp. And I believe that takes us to the end of our meeting. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Much appreciate your time. Thanks to all the commissioners. We will see you next month. Meeting adjourned.